What's up, everyone, and welcome back. Today's video is different because today's video is going to be very personal for me, and it is something that has been brought up because of the comments that I have shared with you guys, the hateful comments that I've been receiving on my YouTube channel. I shared a few with you guys yesterday on Facebook, for those of you that do follow me on Facebook. But if you don't, they're just comments like, kill yourself, and you need to die, different stuff like that. And that's just a few of the many comments that I receive that are on the hateful side of things. And I kind of wanted to talk about that in a way by going back to my past and telling my story. And I hope by sharing my story, I can help some of you who may be going through similar things that I've went through and that I've dealt with and battled within myself. In high school, I battled depression. And nobody really knew that. Nobody saw that. They only saw the fake smile on my face, or they knew me as the person who would make them laugh throughout the day, or the soccer player, that kind of stuff. But no one knew me as the girl who battled depression because I held it in. And I felt like I had to, because I felt like people wouldn't accept me. People wouldn't love me for that part of me. And it's comments like that. It's comments about people's weight. It's comments about race, and, you know, telling people to go kill themselves and telling people they're not good enough. It's constantly hearing those kinds of things that drag people into depression and drag people into thinking that they're not good enough. And that's what causes people to commit suicide. And I know, speaking from experience, that I've been there. I've been in those suicidal thoughts. I've been there in that spot where you thought life was never going to get better, that you were never going to be happy ever again. And I let people's words tear me down. I let people and how they viewed me wreck me. I let it ruin me emotionally, and to the point where I didn't even look forward to getting up in the mornings. I didn't want to get out of bed. I wanted to stay in bed all day, and I wanted to stay in my room all day. I distanced myself from family. I distanced myself from friends. I stopped, being sociable. I started becoming an outcast, and I just let people ruin me emotionally. And I feel like that is the worst possible thing that you can do, because I know in high school I was not emotionally stable, and you never know what someone's going through on the inside. You never know what's going on in their household. You never know what they're battling, and you never know what your words might mean to them. Now I'm in a much more stable place than I used to be, but back then, comments telling me to kill myself and telling me I'm fat, they would have destroyed me. They would have pushed me over the edge, and I wouldn't have been able to handle them. And we don't think about that when we post things or when we tell something to someone, either through a text message or a phone call or in person, any type of contact. We don't think about these things before we say them. And there are people just like me who are struggling to get by every single day. Every day I had to motivate myself to get out of bed and to get to school and to keep a smile on my face so no one knew what I was really going through, because I didn't want people to worry. I didn't want people to know where I was at, because I was so scared of not being accepted. I was so scared of people not liking me. And through all of that, through burying my feelings, I literally lost love for myself. I stopped loving myself. And that is the worst possible thing that you can do, is to stop loving yourself, because I'm telling you right now, you are beautiful. You are worth loving. And that was the hardest thing for me to learn and for me to grasp, because I struggled so much with loving myself. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't something that happened overnight. It took a while. It took a while for me to rebuild my relationships with my family and myself. Most importantly, with God. Because if it wasn't for God, I wouldn't have got through any of that. I wouldn't have gotten through my high school days. I wouldn't have been able to come out stronger and get my grades up and get into college and better myself, better my future, because without God's grace, I wouldn't have been able to do any of that. I would have been stuck in the same rut at rock bottom, begging for someone to notice, begging for someone to care enough to help me up. And that care and that love and that compassion that I was looking for was God. I was looking for God that entire time. And throughout the depression and the hard times and the trying to impress people, I lost focus of that. I lost focus on what mattered, and that was God. I lost my relationship with Him, and I stopped going to church to worship Him. I stopped going to church to seek His Word. I started going to church because I felt like it was something I had to do on a Sunday morning. I was raised in church, and I felt like it was just a weekly process. Get up on Sunday mornings, and you go to church, and you go out to eat lunch with your family. That was my Sunday process. And it stopped being about God. It was more of just routine. And once I started going to church to seek help, I found the light at the end of the tunnel. I found God. I found happiness, true happiness that I hadn't felt in so long, and that I didn't think was ever possible for me. Because I remember the days when I didn't want to get out of bed. I remember the days when I felt like taking my life because I felt like my life didn't have purpose anymore. And I remembered those days and how hard they were, and how each day was a struggle, and how I never thought I would see the light at the end of the tunnel. But I found the light at the end of the tunnel, and it changed my life. It changed my life forever, and I'm here now, and I'm happy, and I'm allowed to see comments like the ones on my YouTube channel, and instead of taking it personally, I pray for those people. I pray for those people, and I pray that they find the love that I found in God, the love that I found in church, the love that I found through family and friends and people who love me for me, people who can laugh with me and be there for me and provide me support. And it's an amazing feeling. And I know each and every one of you that are going through the similar depression and hard times that I went through in high school, it's possible for you to get here too. It's possible for you to be happy, and it's possible for you to find the light at the end of your tunnel, whether that be through God, which I hope can be through God, and I hope that you see how good He is and how great He is, and that He has a purpose for your life, that you're still here for a reason, and that reason, I hope you find it. I truly hope you find it, because you're amazing. And even though I don't know you, and I don't even know who's going to watch this, but if you're watching this, I want you to know that I love you. I want you to know that God loves you, and that He wants the very best for you, and I want the very best for you. And I hope you can watch this, and I hope it can speak to you, and it can pull you through your hardest days, because that's all we ever need. We need someone who cares. We need someone to let us know that we're not alone. I know that's what I needed back then. So I hope that this video can just provide you hope, if anything. Hope that the better days are ahead of you, and I hope you find them. God bless.